there. This is Gitau coming to you this evening, Kenyan time. It's about 9 p.m. Your time in your country. And I want to tell you, I thank you so much. You have continuously subscribed to my YouTube channel, Dr. Susan Gitau. And I'm very, very grateful that you're also sharing my videos to other people so that they can also be helped and help another person. Today, I want to do a video that one is a dedication to my late first cousin, Wilson Kariuki. And Wilson Kariuki was just a quiet man. He just retired last year, working in one of the military barracks in this country, in Nanyuki, out of somebody who really mentored him until he became a useful person as a civilian in the military. My cousin Wilson Maina Kariuki had a beautiful wife, a loving wife, who passed away some couple of years ago after giving birth to a son. And now I remember, as I dedicate this video to all men, and especially all men who are widowed. And I think this has really touched me so much because sometimes we think the people who work in the military or in risky job situations or employment situations are strong people. And I'm talking so that I can encourage men to speak up. There is nothing wrong when you speak up. What is actually ailing you, what is basically making life hard for you. Because my cousin, Maina, was just a quiet person, not talking so much. And if he ever made a phone call, or he would ask, how are you doing? How is everybody? Not much. And one thing that I was sharing with my cousin Jane this morning, when she informed me of the demise of my cousin, the brother, is that sometimes there are many things that can happen in our lives when we are children. And when we become adults, we can change the narrative. Because children that grow up without parents showing them togetherness, you find them, not because maybe they want to, because they could also be having situations in their lives that are very disturbing and traumatic. Like this first cousin of mine, the mother was the elder sister to my own mom. And I can't recall very beautiful moments between the two of them. And definitely that translates into probably relatives not getting to know one another very well, relatives not getting to really support one another, because you don't know what is ailing the other person, you don't know where they need help. And so we are telling ourselves, then we need to bring up a different generation altogether. So as I am talking to you, you man watching me, you father of some children, some child watching me, it's time for men to speak up. And when I say it's time for men to speak up, I want to encourage you that it's not weakness to speak up. Because I think my late cousin, one of the things that is really, really like distressing me is the fact that he stayed in the house for over 1 week before anybody knew whether he was dead. And I think that's quite sad, very sad. It's actually an indicator that you could be in this world, but you're lonely and alone, with a lot of maybe emptiness around you. Because my cousin, after retirement, he thought he could now put up a home where he can stay with his daughter, who has been living with her maternal auntie, and now she's cleared high school. And so he said he was building that home and making sure that they're gonna stay there together. And so he hadn't even reached that point. But one of the things that my cousin told me is that he always told him, calling the name of his wife, that I've now finished building a home for our daughter. And probably in families, like I had put in my previous video, we need to listen to our family members, probably with a third ear. One of the things I would like to say, maybe especially for the men in Africa, is that it sounds like it's not African for you to speak up challenges you're going through. But one thing I would like you to appreciate in the first place, you're human. And because of that humanity, you're vulnerable. And because of that vulnerability, it is okay to let you be that human. Because most of the growing up, the parenting of the boy child in Africa is that they need to be hardened. They must face life as it is. And sometimes with all the traumatic developmental experiences the boy child goes through, they get stuck. Remember, to begin with, as male, they have more of the left side developed more than the right side. And the right side is more of sensing, is more of feeling, is more of being expressive. Sometimes without processing so much, but men would love to be logical, to be systematic, and to organize their thoughts. And so when traumatic experiences happen to them, it makes their brain not be that systematic. So you can imagine if they're going through very tough moments that they cannot talk about the same, even to a parent, to a relative, to a teacher, they can grow with that. And I'm wondering, was that my cousin Wilson? Was that my cousin? Was it what he was going through? And did it have to wait this much? Parents, as you bring up your boy children, and especially in the African continent, time has come that mental health illness is so real. And when it affects men, they are more vulnerable to sink deeper into those mental health issues. And majority of them take up risky behavior like addiction in chemical and non-chemical substances, addiction to gambling, addiction to anything, addiction to sex, addiction to social media, name it, just trying to fill that void. And so in the inside, they feel so small if they ever imagine or think of telling somebody something. And so as I remember my cousin, I want to remember all men in the whole world. I know the male gender is pushed too hard to be strong, to face challenges like you're not human, but you are human. And the truth about mental health, it doesn't choose. It attacks anyone and everyone. And because men are not in very good spaces expressing what they are going through, they imagine all is well. It's not. Stigma and discrimination is another barrier to men speaking up about their mental health issues. And so you realize when you talk about challenges in your family, challenges in your marriage, challenges in your family of origin, people just tell you you're not man enough, but you've only been human. And so, men, it's the high time you stood up and said, we are also human. I'm also human. Why shouldn't I talk about something that is hurting me, that is harming me? I'm human. The other thing that would make men not to seek help is the fact that maybe mental health services are damn expensive. And I'm very happy with the developments that I'm seeing in my country. And my prayer is that these medical facilities will be also fully equipped with mental health infrastructure, where everybody, especially the common mwananchi, common citizen, can seek help without thinking whether they have money or not. That national health cover will really cover the poor person. And for men, when they don't have the ability to take care of themselves, they don't have the money to seek this help, pay for these services, they would rather stay indoors, stay in that hideout, never come out. And so we need to make these services, mental health services, available to all, including men. When I think about another aspect is socialization agents from home, school, society, peers that a male child goes through. What do they tell this male child? So that when they become that adult, they can be able to help themselves. And so we need to start from our homes, telling our boys they are also human. Not telling them they should be weak or behave like girls, but they're human. We go to school, teachers do the same. Peers support one another. Do not tell your friend who is a teenager, a young adult, a fellow man that, jikaze, give yourself strength, encourage yourself, you're a man. You're going to tell them, you're human. And human beings get hurt. Human beings get broken. Human beings do it differently when things are not working. Men can also cry. Men can weep. Men can feel so small. Men get hurt. Men get broken. And men can feel weak. When it comes to the larger society, we need to know where we place men, the way we talk, the way we segregate. You can find even in boarding schools that when you go to a girls' school is well structured, facilities, it's neat. But when it comes to boy schools, it's like they can live anywhere. We need to tell our boys they can also be smart, they can also be neat, they can also be organized. Where we have corporal punishment for our students, you will find where there are boys, there are pipes, there are rods, things that hit you as if you're not human. Are we playing part in the extinction of the male gender, the human species, in the name of a male? Are we aware the way we are doing things? When it comes to risky affairs, risky engagement, we call men. When we need people to perpetrate violence, we call men. When we want them to use hard drugs, sell, supply, market, we call men. And that is why majority of them are in jails, they are in morgues, they are in rehabilitation centers, they are in mental health facilities, they are in risky jobs like the military, the police, security in general. They are the ones who are the majority of the drivers. Are we finishing the male human? Are we finishing ourselves? Where is your boy child? Do you know what hurts them? Do you know what they need? Or you think they don't need anything? Where are our men? Are they hiding somewhere in a bar, drinking their stresses away? Are they somewhere rotting in jail? Are they somewhere feeling so useless, helpless, and desperate? It's my prayer that men, you will love one another to some extent that you can start having these social support systems online, physical, door to door, because you have your own language that we respect as well, where you can talk heart to heart, man to man talk. And for the African family, the Ubuntu spirit worked magic. How can we revive that? It begins in our families. Be united. Make safe spaces for the boy child. In schools, make safe spaces for the boy child, where you can encourage them to share and express in a very strategic way what is ailing them. Very, very important that we create spaces where boys can really talk. Probably something that I would leave our men with, if you're watching me, something you can use to empower the boy child. I really celebrate my studies with the Center for Mindful Self-Compassion, California, USA. Thank you, Dr. Steve. Thank you, Dr. Chris Gama. Thank you, Galia. Thank you, Christine Neff. Thank you, Rosianne. Thank you, Susan Pollack. Thank you, Miriam, my friend from Germany. And once in a while, crisscross in US and Germany. Thank you for believing in me and starting the training in Kenya. Mindful self-compassion is a practice that when everybody could be gone, every channel that you're looking for to have an outlet of your pressures, your distress, your traumas is blocked, you can always have yourself. You can always go inward and realize you're the best thing that ever happened to you. You're the best gift that ever happened to you. You're the best version of the human you. And this human is encouraged to be human in all situations. This human has grown to be resilient because they have overcome very many experiences of suffering. This human has accepted that suffering is common to humanity. This human being has accepted that if no one else treats you with loving kindness, you can give it to yourself. This human has accepted that they can be the first one if no one is present to take a step, to notice, to pay attention to their suffering, even simply by the breath of life. And when they take a step to alleviate their suffering, many negative emotions will come into play. Like when we are so afraid of the unknown, we can pay attention and see where that comes into our body. And we can invite that attention to locate it in our body with the breath of life. We can learn not to resist, but to explore what it does in our body. We can take a moment and allow it to take a safari, take a journey in our body until we locate where it hurts most. We can acknowledge it and tolerate it even when it's quite painful. We can say, this is a moment of suffering. If I were asked, I would not want this, but here I am in this moment of suffering. And we can start befriending this negative emotion. And once we do that friendship, we can say, I know I don't like you in me. I don't like the impact you have in my life. But I want to walk side by side with you. I'm not afraid. You can always come and go until the day you may decide to go completely. And even if you don't go away, I'll still be at peace with you. The realization that we don't treat ourselves with self-compassion to feel better, but because we don't feel better. Having that open awareness that even when suffering comes, I will not fight it. I will explore, I'll tolerate, I'll befriend, and I will allow. And for the Christians that are watching me, the willing spirit, the obedient spirit, knows not what lies ahead, but it has always been an amazing breakthrough. Not that you went looking for freedom, not that you went looking for what you may think is going to relieve you, but paradoxically, those of you that have practiced mindfulness, mindful self-compassion, you have realized the amazing outcome of constant peace, constant hope, constant care for self and other people. And that's what I would wish all men or boys as we think about mental health, and men. Let's talk. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dr. Susan Gitau. If you haven't subscribed, share this video after liking it. Do a comment and tap on that bell if you want to be notified of the videos that I post. Once again, thank you so much, and support that male next to you. Could be your son, could be your brother, could be your father, could be your uncle, could be your male colleague, whoever they are in your environment, in your hood, support them. Thank you so much. God bless you. I would like you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dr. Susan Gitau, where you will access mental health tips every week, every month, every year. Thank you.